Hi, it's Joy, and today we're going to be watching Supergirl Season 6, Episode 8, Welcome Back Kara, and welcome back Kara indeed. Supergirl is back, I have missed Kara, and she's finally going to be back in National City with her friends and her family, and I'm very excited. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, along with all my reactions, although it is nearing the end of August. Just a reminder that with most people's patrons, you get charged the day you sign up, and then again on the 1st of the month. So obviously if you sign up on like the 4th of the month, that doesn't really make a difference, but signing up towards the end might be a bit iffy, so just consider that before you sign up to me or anybody else. But yeah, let's go.
Cake is intact. Supergirl. We thought you'd eat the cake.
You thought I'd eat the cake? What am I, an animal?
You have been combat eating a lot. Oh. I mean, she lived with the Phantoms for a very long time. I don't know that dreams are going to be peaceful.
It's okay. I don't want to talk about it. No, you don't have to. Okay?
Oh.
It's all over.
You're with your family, my sweetheart. Yeah. I miss them.
It's all behind. Another hug, please. Always.
All the hugs forever. Oh, the hugs forever. Your family.
There she is.
Oh.
How long have you been awake?
I am eternally grateful.
It is kind of weird having Kara's dad here. I love it, but weird.
Really is a miracle.
It is.
Not many people get to reunite with lost loved ones.
Before I go, I'd like to see what my daughter's been up to here on Earth.
Yeah. His baby.
Don't worry. I promise no one will even know I'm there.
It never goes well.
Stand my strength. I'm sorry about your door.
Ranking of the top 10 news outlets in the country.
Yes. And Catco is number 8.
Yeah, because you turned it into a frivolous tabloid, didn't you, last year?
Catco had the tradition of being the go-to news source. Trusted and
Yeah, you destroyed that last year. Your whole policy was to do frivolous nonsense stuff.
we must be number 1 by the end of next month's ranking. Or I will get a new staff. Am I clear?
What a wonderful boss.
Now back to work.
Because you remember back when Kara tried to quit because you were doing nothing but frivolous stories?
Why did no one tell me that phantoms attacked National City?
Alex didn't want us to burden you.
All of these people suffered because of me.
No.
Kara? No.
Because of Lex.
He is the one that sent you there.
William.
Hi. This is awkward.
I've been seeing someone.
Okay, good.
My name's Mary. She's a pediatrician. We doing a charity bake-off.
Because, you know,
Very narrowly.
he's very nice, but they don't have any chemistries.
That's wonderful.
Can we be friends? Do you want to come to our game night with her? Bring her? He's free. Honestly, I'm just Kara. Getting both her parents is unbelievable.
What is that? Looks like a large piece of machinery
Oh dear.
speeding towards us.
Okay, Kara.
Really want to-
She gets to fly with her dad. Oh.
Major downward trend for Catco Media.
Andrea.
You started that. I'm sorry, I'll stop saying that, but it's true.
Unless, for some reason, you have a problem covering the phantoms?
No.
It's hard because she wasn't meant to be in town. If they knew she was in town, she could have been like, I was attacked, but... Kara, it's not your fault, my love. They just tried to help you.
I couldn't shake the feeling that Earth was headed down the same path as Krypton.
Yeah.
So I analyzed your oceans and
That's really great that they get to share that.
Wait, Nia.
It's totally normal to feel jealousy about it. Even if you're happy for your friend, it still sucks for you to not have something.
Must be hard.
I ripped you from your home.
And I found a new one. Here.
And I promise you, this time I will save it. I will not let what happened to Krypton happen here.
Thank you. Can you come to this universe and help stop global warming too?
And government regulations. If anything, the system's to blame for the fire.
The unseen toxicity of Lex is the fire.
Agreed.
Figure it out.
Andrea's kind of... She's always been a bit of a very extremely unlikable boss, but she's sort of losing it. Like, expecting more than is physically possible of her people.
It was Kellex, but my father figured out a way to add some modifications
computations that will enable him to clean Earth's oceans right now.
Is Oscar an acronym?
Here for this.
He's named after that irritable green creature who lives with the garbage.
Yes, he binge-watched Sesame Street while I was recovering under the submarine.
Earth customs. This is something I could never have achieved on Krypton. Your planet has an amazing melting pot of alien technology that we
I like this message that if everyone pulls together and you take experience from everywhere,
Alien technology interacts. Okay.
run a couple of tests.
Call at the first sign of distress.
Of course.
I'm all for crazy fix the oceans schemes, but I definitely feel like this is going to go wrong now. What is going on?
What is it?
Alerted him. If he gets any higher, it's going to detonate with the force of an atomic bomb.
Oh great.
Find him. I can still fix him. He can still save
It's okay, my love. Kara's dad, Jor-El. This is Earth, and I know you're trying to undo your mistakes.
Help Rainey with the virus, or you step aside.
Your ideas are good. We can use them with time, and we still have time to test things. Oh, Oscar. He's got a face now and hands. What? I love this. How has it turned into a person with a DEO badge? What the fuck? Lexi's technology is definitely combined with this.
DEO. It's a parasitic creature that forces even inanimate objects to adapt to survive.
Oh great.
It's impossible.
Find a way to get close enough to the drone to release the virus manually.
Okay.
How will you get close enough?
I need to get him to think I'm trash.
We need to help him.
Oh my god! Kara!
Your suit's been breached. It's not going to protect you from the kryptonite.
Oh god, Kara!
I am not going to be the reason that Kara is trapped in here.
Alex?
The virus has been deployed.
Okay.
Down in 3, 2, 1. Everyone take cover.
I mean, the trash is not in the ocean anymore. Had a good time there, Brainy.
Rainey would never have been able to make that virus without your help.
Exactly. But maybe this is why we test things when we have ideas.
And the thought of looking her in the eye and seeing all of my mistakes reflected back on me.
She loves you, that's what matters.
I may have made a lot of mistakes in my life. But the one thing that went right was you.
Yeah.
You're strong and caring. and
Kara is
built
everything.
for life. You don't need to carry the weight of this world or any world on your shoulders every moment of every day.
That is good advice.
I'm gonna miss you so much, Father.
Yeah. But you can visit him because he's alive, and that is what matters.
I'm going to cover them like every other news outlet. But the real story is who's stopping them.
Oh god.
How these heroes save the day. It's why. What drives them to do what they do.
Okay, as long as we're not gonna like invasively try and work out who they are or.
These heroes, and I want a lasting relation. Well, you're the investigative journalist. You'll figure it out.
Is he gonna figure out who Kara is eventually? Because that makes it a lot easier. Does she know? I can't remember what she knows.
I'm gonna go home.
I respect that.
Sure.
You can find that peace too, sweetheart. It's part of why she told you and thanked you, is to tell you that it's out there, and even if you think there's no way, there is a way.
It was so cold in there. What?
Yes, talk about it with your sister, my angel.
I don't want to be alone anymore.
You're not, my darling.
You were not alone. So desperately wanted to get away from the Phantom Zone that I didn't let myself process
Yeah.
how afraid I was.
You survived, sweetheart, and it's okay that you're feeling it all now.
What if that fear never goes away?
It will. With time and with love and with friends and family.
We did get you back. I still feel like you could slip away at any moment.
Yeah.
And I felt that way today too. The only way out
It's through.
is through. Healing together.
Yes. It's such an important message.
Thank you.
I love supportive sisters.
Because I am not.
Oh, dream time, my love. Thank you. Okay, so this was a brilliant episode. Kara being back with her family is everything to me, and just all the hugs between Kara and Alex and Kara and everyone were everything. I just, the scene at the end between Kara and Alex, those scenes are always some of my favourite scenes. The scenes at the end of a Supergirl episode where she's in her apartment with those she loves. I loved it when it was with Monel. I've loved it since the beginning when it's with Alex. And they just have those quiet moments where it's processing the events of the day. I think it's usually been Alex that's there, and their friendship, their sisterhood is everything to me. And the fact that Kara was able to let her guard down and just say how scary it was, I think it's sort of true of what I've heard people say about going through traumatic experiences, is that when you're in the middle of it, when you're fighting to survive, you don't necessarily feel all the feelings because you've pushed them to one side because you need to live and you're getting through this thing. And it's when you're home and you're safe and you don't have to fight anymore that you can't push it away anymore and it comes crashing on you. And you know, Andrea, while I think, you know, she was being very unreasonable boss left, right and centre, it wasn't unreasonable to ask Kara to do that article when she has no knowledge that she has anything to do with the Phantoms. But for Kara, that was like putting a huge burden on her, and I absolutely love that she's found an idea that is a different spin on it. It is talking about healing, and sure, to make Andrea happy, she'll get Supergirl's quote, and she'll get, like, she can talk to the victims and she can talk to other people who've been helping, but that is the best way through it. Don't revel in the horror of it all, but find peace and comfort and hope in the healing that's coming through it. So I absolutely loved that. Andrea needs to sit back and take a reflection. Like, okay, I know, like, this season she's been trying to be hard-hitting journalism, but she was the one who took over, and then Kara was like, I'd like to cover this very serious issue, and she was like, no, do nonsense piece. It's her fault this has happened. I am so glad William and Kara aren't going to be a thing, and I want Kara to be happy, do not get me wrong. And I won't lie, there's that small part of me that's like, maybe she could end up with Monel somehow. But regardless of that, they just didn't have much chemistry. And although I think they work well and I think they'll be excellent as friends, sometimes actors just have that spark. And when we had that spark in season 2, to suddenly have Kara in a relationship where there isn't that spark, it's lacking, it's missing. So I'm really glad that that has ended so peacefully and so amicably. And William can still be a friend. William can still be an acquaintance. I imagine if he's going to be, like, looking into the Super Friends, he's going to potentially find out everything now anyway. But I like William more as a friend than as a sort of forced love interest. And there's nothing wrong with giving Kara love interests. It's just that one didn't work and they kind of stuck with it a bit too long. Nia is struggling still with her powers and with the fact that she was never trained to use them. So I'm intrigued, was her mother training her sister to know how to interpret dreams and stuff? Because it was assumed that it would pass to her, because I guess that makes sense. But Nia will figure it out, because if that's the case, then Nia should talk to her sister about it, even if her sister's pissed that she didn't get the powers. It's not like Nia stole them from her. Nia just inherited them because she's a woman too. I love Nia and Lena growing a friendship, and it's really helping to make Lena feel like she's part of the crew. And I support her going home to find out who she is. But for Nia, I think Lena gives her hope that even with a parent that's lost to you, you can still find a connection to them. You can still get closer to them in a different way, and there will be a way for her to uncover these powers to feel at home in them. And it will take time, and it will take patience, and it will take practice, but she will get there. And I absolutely love Dreamer. And she's woken up with a name on her lips that I don't know whether Kara's told them about Nixie, but the minute Nia says it, they're going to know she's here, I hope, and that is very important stuff. Kara and her dad. I want to talk about that. I can't remember if I missed anything. Jor-El, I can't imagine what he's been through, and I think he's holding up very well for a man that has been in the Phantom Zone for like 40 years and was barely keeping it together when Kara came. I truly do think that discovering his wife and daughter were alive, that his sacrifice worked, you know, that all that pain he'd been through, he managed to save the people he tried to save, would have been a huge boost. And Kara's hope is just something that will help fuel you. And I think definitely him trying to throw himself into saving Earth wasn't just about making it so he could face his wife. I think it was so that he could have something to focus on, so that he, like, kind of like Kara said, he could keep fighting. When he's fighting, he's not thinking about everything he's been through. But I'm really glad that he's going to go and be with his wife and his people on a little piece of his planet, which I think that is the healing he's really going to need. And Kara can visit whenever she wants. I know Kara, like, doesn't leave National City much because obviously they need Supergirl around all the time, but I think now there's a team of superheroes, and now we've seen that they get by without Kara, we're opening up for much more of a world in which she could go and say, I'm going to go and spend a month on Argo City, contact me if there's a super crisis, but otherwise I'm there. There's no reason that couldn't happen. It's sort of similar to why I'm like, we have time travel, like it's nothing. Wynn could be visiting, well, every other second, every other week, you know, having holidays and trips, but I am intrigued about whether this show is kind of going to be moving us into... Basically, I'm just interested about how Supergirl is going to end. Is it going to end with Kara going and living on Argo City, with Kara going and living in the future, with Kara just becoming a journalist? You know, I don't think she would ever just give up. But I think they've established that National City, that our super friends can keep it safe if Kara isn't there. That Kara isn't alone in being the one to save the day. That if she chooses to do something else, if she chooses to say, look, I've served my time, I've given so much to the city, now I need to take time for me, that wouldn't be being selfish because she's leaving it in capable hands. And you can imagine that over the years they will get new people joining, and it will just kind of, they will be fine. Because they better not be planning to kill Kara Danvers, is all I'm saying. I don't think they will be doing Oliver Queen with Kara. And I wouldn't mind if it was just kind of left with them just carrying on, and you just know that they're going to be living the life we've watched them live forevermore. That is fine. But I do kind of feel like maybe we are setting up a path for these characters to realise that they don't have to do this forever. I'm just intrigued with where it's going to go. So for Jor-El, Kara having a dad and getting to show him her life and her world, and getting him to see that Kara has flourished. You know, he would have felt all that pain and guilt that even if Kara had survived what he did when they sent her away, how would this child alone be able to manage? But she has made a beautiful life for herself. She has a family. She has found people. Her hope inspires a world. And I love Kara, and I just love that he was able to see that, and I'm happy for him and for her. If anyone deserves the miracle of finding both their parents alive, it's Kara, and I'm so glad she gets it. Everyone deserves it, but I'm just so glad Kara gets it. So this was a really promising episode. I don't obviously know entirely what the arc of the rest of the show is going to be, other than Nixie being around, but I am excited. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.